What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the most flaccid celery, back again with another reaction video. Let me just make sure everything is set where it needs to be. Alright, cool. So, today, we are reacting to the new Citizen Soldier song. You know, they allow me to play their music on my stream, so the least I can do is blind react to the newest song that just dropped. This is Good Old Days. And I'm going into this, I want you to understand, I'm a huge fan of Citizen Soldier. This is my favorite band, personally. And just, you know, all around, I really enjoy these guys and listening to their music. And I've gotten to speak with Jake a number of times. You also saw on here that I did interview Jake recently with a couple of friends. So we're going to go ahead and listen real fast to the Good Old Days for the, track for the first time. Completely blind reaction. I haven't even actually heard any teasers for this one.
This is a letter to the young me, the one that's 6 years old, that's full of hope, protected by what they don't know. Don't wish away a single second of being so naive, too full of peace to be afraid of anything. If I could find that kid today, I'd build a time machine just so I could say, stop growing up and just slow down. Nothing's better than what you have now. Cause someday you'll look back and say that you were living in the good old days. Stay innocent cause you can't see life's so much harder than you once believed. You won't know it until it's too late, but you were living in the good old days.
We're gonna go ahead and pause it there for the moment. So that was the first verse and the chorus. So this is something I really heavily relate to in a way that is almost painful to me. And I want to say this with the intent of saying that the reason it's almost painful to me is not because, it's a bad thought process in my mind. It's more, I really relate to this in a lot of ways, because now I'm not being, subjected to what caused me to have PTSD anymore. That was 3 to 15 years old constantly. But back then, things were so much simpler. Things made so much more sense to me. And now, things don't make a whole lot of sense. Things are chaotic at best. And I spend many a day sitting here thinking, I'd go back to that if it meant things made sense again. Those were the good old days to me, because I was going through a lot of shit. I was being traumatized consistently day in, day out. But I had good friends, and I got to see them a lot, and I got away from it when I was in school, where all I was doing was learning and things made sense. Those were the days that I would go back to. Trauma and all, I would go back to that. In a heartbeat. Things made sense. But that's kind of, what the song's talking about is, back then, those were the good old days. Those were the days that made sense. You're going to look back at it someday and say the same thing. Like, to the kid back then, you would say that. And that's the truth. I would say that to that kid. You're going to look back on these days as these are the good old days. Things make sense now. Things aren't as bad as they're going to get. So honestly, I needed this right now. It seems the last several releases have come when I've needed them most. So let's go ahead and continue on.
This is a warning to a dumb kid, the one that's counting down the days till they can get away from their hometown. Oh, don't you wish away the present? You don't know its worth. 'Cause the scenery you change won't make you happier. Long drives, night games, and skipping class. Your heart will break when you look back. 'Cause one day you went out to play and didn't know it was the last. Stop growing up and just slow down. Nothing's better than what you have now. 'Cause someday you'll look back and say that you were living in the good old days. Stay innocent 'cause you can't see life's so much harder than you once believed. You won't know it until it's too late, but you were living in the good old days. Bad blood, deep scars, things that traumatize. We're here for you on the other side. Don't waste these sacred years. The grass ain't greener here. Memories that keep you awake at night. Self-doubt so strong you'll be paralyzed. Don't waste these sacred years. The grass ain't greener here. If I could find that kid today, I'd say.
Alright, so that was second verse, second chorus. The bridge, I don't think I really need to harp on very long about this, because I've said what I have to say at this point. But I really relate to everything that's being said right now. And I really... This is what I needed right now. This is what I needed right now. And learning as an adult that what happened to me as a kid is what traumatized me into the person I am today. I think not knowing why I was the way I was better for me. If I'm being honest. Not having the understanding of why I function the way I do, why I think the way I do, why I act the way I do, the reason I have a friggin' savior complex. Not knowing all of that, not even knowing about the savior complex for that matter. Things were so much simpler before I knew. Before all the shit that I went through that put me in this spot right now. I needed this. I needed this right now. So, I swear, this is a message more people need to hear. This is a band more people need to listen to. Just because you personally haven't experienced some of the mental health stuff that they talk about in their music doesn't mean that it won't help you, that it won't touch your heart. And just because you haven't experienced some of it doesn't mean that you won't be able to use the music to speak to somebody else who is in that spot, who is going through it at that time. These guys have opened so many doors for me, and I'm going to continue to say that until the end of my days. I guarantee it. As long as these guys are out there, as long as their music exists, you will be able to touch the hearts of someone going through something if you just show them the band. Not everything is soft, some stuff is heavier, this is more of a ballad, and I kind of understand based on, the message of the song. But then there's other songs like Good Enough for God that's hard rock verging on metalcore, but not quite metalcore. It's a lot of their music, it's very eclectic, it goes from hard rock to more ballads, it's all over the place. But it is worth it. And there is something in their catalog that will resonate with you if you just give it a listen. This song right now is something I needed. I have been fighting tears basically the entire time. And that's because I don't like showing my tears to anyone. There's very few people in my life that have seen me cry. And it's not I'm a man, if I cry I'm weak type thing. No, it's just, I don't show myself, my full self, to just anyone. It's a protection thing that I've had to develop because of my trauma. I'm opening up right now more than I've opened up to anyone in a while, and I'm opening up like that because of this band. So let's go ahead and finish out the song.
Stop growing up and just slow down. Nothing's better than what you have now. Cause someday you'll look back and say that you were living in the good old days. Stay innocent cause you can't see life's so much harder than you once believed. You won't know it until it's too late, but you were living in the good old days.
That, I needed that. This 3-minute video I needed. And as a result, I have made a 10-minute reaction because I ended up going on longer than I intended to several times. This band has been so powerful and so instrumental in my life, and I hope that other people are able to say the same. And I really, truly hope that anybody who watched this video got something out of this song. So please, please listen to more Citizen Soldier. If you do anything that I've suggested ever on my page, listen to more Citizen Soldier music. Find what resonates with you. Find what you relate to, but please do not ever listen to something if it puts you in a bad headspace, and please feel free to reach out for help. There's many organizations that exist out there for that purpose. I can't do a whole lot. I'm not a certified therapist or anything, but I have a lot of life experiences. I have a Discord. My Discord exists, and you can find it in the link tree connected to my YouTube channel. It's also connected to my Twitch account, which is The Most Flaccid Celery over on Twitch. That's where all of my streams occur that I then later post here as VODs. All I can say at this point in time is this. Please get connected with people that'll help you. Get connected with organizations for you and find what works for you. Music has been a big thing in my life. These guys speak on what I experience quite often. And so I love listening to Citizen Soldier. That being said, thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch this reaction video. And I do hope you all have an excellent day. Stay awesome. And I will see you all again in the near future. Peace.